BAFS accounting module 2021 paper 2A question 4 here. It covers cash book and income statements. So first of all, we take a look on the question, what kind of hints that they gave us, and then we'll talk about the daily transaction one by one with the double entry as well. First, they asked us to prepare a 3-column cash book, which means that you should include the discount column as well. For B, you need to prepare an income statement, easy part. The highlight here is be aware on the credit or the cash transactions. Because now you're doing cash book, all you need to record is the transaction related to cash or bank transaction. If those purchase or sales are making on credit, then you don't need to put it on the cash book. Some of the students, they like to put all the stuff on epic pages they can find. So although it will only make you lose the mark for the balance, but it's better for us to not waste our time because paper 2A still we have a tight schedule here. So now let's take a look on what kind of balances they gave us at the beginning. Although we don't need to prepare for the SOFP, but first we still have the bank and cash balance for the balance brought down in the cash book. Bank is credit balance, that means we have a bank overdraft. Your balance is a negative balance for the bank, so you should put it on the right hand side of the cash book. And then we have receivable and payables as well. Here is for us to calculating the payment and receive on the 2nd and the 3rd of March. Because now they won't give you the numbers directly. You need to base on your calculation. Like Mandy settled the balance with a cash discount. Then you need to base on the amount they owe you, like $5,600 times 0.95%, which equals the amount you actually receive. The remaining amount will become the discount allowed. On the other hand, although they give us the payment as well, the payment paid to Vinci, but here we are only paying $2,400 for settling half of the outstanding amount. The outstanding amount is $4,880. Even half of it still is more than $2,400. That means we still have some tips from your counterparty here. We're spending $2,400 to pay for $2,440. That means we have a discount received $40. Here, inventory is the opening inventory at the beginning of the March, but it also mentioned about the quantity. For the quantity, is facilitate the calculation of closing inventory at the end, because we need to keep track on the unit so that we know in our warehouse how many inventory left at the end of the month. So for the calculation, we'll go for it in part B. Lastly, prepaid operating expense. Here, pay attention. It's not about this month we have prepaid. The prepayment is from the last month. If this month have prepaid, that means there's something not belongs to this month. We already paid it, which we should deduct it from our expense. But here, it's talking about last month having this scenario. That means in this month, we should have 1,000 more, even though we didn't pay for that 1,000 this month. It's paid in the previous month, but it should be included in this month operating expense. Bear in mind, our income statement should be recording those things that it should be happening in the month. So here you can see we have the daily transaction here. For the 8th, 15th, and also 20th, these are the credit transaction. You can see on credit, or just return inwards here. So there's no cash or bank related. No need to record on the cash book. Don't put it here. You can see nothing here. And again, this answer should be different from your answer, because for the answer given by the teacher, it should be printed based on the HKDSE published version, which they give you the best answer. But here you can see we have similar answer as well, which is acceptable by marking standard. But of course, HKDSE would like you to learn from the best answer here. So I just use the best answer. If you want to find it, you can go to HKDSE website, subject information, other resources. So let's begin. For each month or each day, I will give you the double entry as well. Like 2nd of March, we have received the Mandy settlements. We already did the calculation. So when we receive stuff, debit the cash book. When we pay stuff, credit the cash book. So debit trade receivable Mandy, the counterparty is. We debit the bank. We have the discount allowed here as well. Exam tips here. Some of the students will use accounts receivable, which is wrong. Bear in mind, if the question use trade receivables, you should use trade receivable. If the question use accounts receivable, you use accounts receivable. Always follow the question item name. Just like cash at bank and bank. If the question use cash at bank, you never use bank. Vice versa. On the other hand, we have payment. So on the right hand side, nothing special here. Okay, on the 6th of March, you have cash purchase, like paid by check. So here, don't put it in as trade payable. Although there's some name here, then some student will think that we should write down like trade payable stuff. But no, here you already paid by check. That means it's already settled. You're never owning people's stuff, so you already pay them. Credit bank $14,400 purchases. At the same time, you can see I will keep track on the unit that increase and decrease. After we purchase, we have more unit. Keep track on this, then you will know at the end of the month you have how many units left. 2,000 unit more on the 8th of March is on credit, so there's nothing on the cash book. Nothing on the cash book. But this one should be still on your income statement. And then for the 10th and 15th, it's about sales because it's a customer buying purchases from us. So here we receive the money actually from 10th Suki, so we will write sell instead of Suki. $12,100. Again, after we sold the units, then we have less inventory. Susan as well, but pay attention. If the payment is received 15 days later or within the 15 days, then you can be entitled a cash discount. But here they purchase on credit. Nothing here. Returns inward, again, doesn't relate it to the cash book, so it only appear on the income statement. 24th, settlement by check. Then we receive money, someone settled the payment to us from Susan, then trade receivable Susan. 15, if you count 15 days, that means as long as it's settled before 30th of March, we still give them the cash discount. So they still have the cash discount of 4%. So the settlement is here, discount allowed is here. 25th and 31st are easy because those are the expenses we should put down on the payment side. At the end, you should be able to find the balance. After this, you can see I list out all the transactions. For those who are turned in red in terms of the word, they are the items inside the income statement here. So when we put it one by one, from sales, we have like a March 10th and also 15th of March as well. For returns inwards is the 20 that items. For the purchase, I'm not also going to talk about the opening inventory, just copy it down. 6th and also 8th, you can see. Carriage inward as well. Some of you didn't remember the format correctly. You may miss carriage inward in the cost of goods sold. Bear in mind, cost of goods sold, carriage inward. Cash hours in the expense. So for closing inventory, there are a few steps you need to do, just like cost accounting. When we do like absorption costing format, then you will know how to do it. We some do it like other than we doing manufacturing accounting, but here we still do it in the way that we are doing. First, we should calculate how many units left based on the purchase sold and return the unit. Then we are calculating, still have a 1,280 units left. Then when we calculate the unit cost, you use the total cost divided by the total unit. For the total unit, it should be using the when our amount reach the highest. That means like after we have the opening inventory and purchases, how many units on our hand at the month when we have reached the highest numbers, which should be 3,000 units. So we're calculating each of those units, how much does it cost? It's $34. So at the end, your closing inventory should be worth 34 times 1,280 units. For the total cost here, you can just sum up all the cost item inside your cost of goods sold. Then you have the total cost divided by how many units you have bought or you have on your hand. Then you can find the unit cost. And then we have the discount received. I don't like it. They write like this, but for me, I will write add other revenue, and then below there's discount received. But sometimes we have like multiple items, and we should list out the section name correctly. And for discount allowed, in general, it should be the left-hand side discounts total from your cash book. On the 2nd and also 24th, when we have the settlement, then we have cash discount allowed. For operating expense, as we mentioned, you should add 1,000 more, as it's already paid from the last month. So that's it for the question 4 in DSE.